Take 5. Have you considered? How many times have we had conversations with someone discussing perhaps an issue we're having or trying to troubleshoot a problem, and the person that you're talking to tries to help you and they begin to give ideas or solutions, and they may say things like, hey, what if you, how about you, or have you thought about, or they may say, have you considered? Let's take 5 to dig deeper into the phrase, have you considered? I would like to speak directly, intentionally to the listener today that is going through a tough time. I want to speak to the listener today that is doing all they know to do and are doing what is right, but yet is still going through. I even want to speak directly to the listener today that not only are you going through and having a tough time, not able to figure this out, trying to make it make sense, I am speaking to you. I am sending you, I am speaking to you, and I am giving encouragement to you and to tell you to be careful as to what you're speaking. Be careful as to what you're thinking, and to be careful of how you're handling the situation that you are in. Be careful? I haven't done anything. What do you mean be careful? How I'm handling this situation? How else am I to handle it? I want to make one thing clear. There is absolutely nothing that happens in our lives that God has not permitted. We may not understand, may feel like we're being punished, but He has permitted it. And if He has permitted it, then why? Perhaps you have been considered. Perhaps you are the one. You have been chosen. Is He saying, have you considered my servant? Perhaps you haven't did anything wrong at all. The Lord, your God, has simply seen you and knows that He can trust that you will go through this. You will, for He knows you. He knows His children. He knows we will not fold. He knows that we will not compromise. He knows who will be His example. He is saying, have you considered, my God, have you considered my servant? I pray you're starting to look at your situation through His eyes now, for He has considered you. When you read the story of Job, the Lord, He asked Satan where he's been. And he answers and he says, going to and fro in the earth. And listen to what the Lord says in Job 1, verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Listen, Satan is coming and coming hard, but he can only go as far as the Lord permits. I encourage you to read Job. These 5 minutes is just not enough time. But let me tell you, Job, just like us, he was an ordinary man, a blessed man, minding his own business kind of man, and was a God-fearing man. And because of who he was and because of what he did is why he was considered. The enemy wanted to take all he had and assumed all that would happen to Job would cause him to walk away from the Lord and blame him. But he still remained true to his faith and to his Lord. So you may just have been considered. Don't question why you're going through this. You may have just been considered. That's why I say be careful. Don't always try to figure it out. You have found favor in His eyes to choose you above the rest, considering you to be His light to this dark world, even when we feel like our world is falling apart. You, yes, you. He has considered you. We try to figure things out on our own and try to fix things on our own. And when we get to that place where we see there's nothing we can do to fix it, we tend to go to a place spiritually and physically that isolates us and tries to confine us. And we will be confused. We'll be so confused. And the whole time we have just been considered. Jesus, forgive us, Lord. It never was a thought that me, was even considered. My brother, my sister, hold your head up high. Let there be no confusion, no condemnation. You just have been considered.